Hello, and welcome to the first demo of CamFilterGpu, a live video enhancer, customizer, and control application that seamlessly integrates with Zoom, Discord, or any other system, especially OBS. When you run the app, the main GUI starts on the first run with the default settings. Here you can make all your adjustments, then quick save, and every time you run again, all your settings are automatically restored. Let's go ahead and turn on the live window. Here we see the raw feed from my current webcam. This is pretty bad. I'm dark because I don't have any front lighting. I can't stand having bright lights in front of my face for long sessions especially, and even day-long sessions for that matter. And there's tons of background clutter. It's all kind of a worst-case scenario. Adjusting the camera's brightness doesn't help either. If I adjust it up, it gets all washed out. If I adjust it down, it just gets too dark. So I'm kind of stuck. What do? I really wasn't happy with this. It so happens I've been working on fast methods for enhancing and segmenting live microscopy video. And I thought, well, why not use those methods to make a fast GPU accelerated app that can transform any dull, dry webcam video from this to this. And I am pretty happy with the results so far. Note that there's no change in lighting here whatsoever. We just go straight from this segment and to this. And there's a lot more functions. I'm just going to touch on the highlights for this first demo. There are 5 panels in the GUI. The main camera panel is where you adjust and refine all your camera, subject, and background controls. For instance, for the subject, you can make yourself brighter, you can make yourself dimmer. For the background, you can increase the brightness or decrease it so that you stand out just a little more. And you can adjust it any way you want for whatever camera or room environment that you're in. And once you're satisfied with all your settings, you hit quick save, and that saves all your settings permanently. You can restart the app and they come right back. Of course, you can also use the Save As button, and you can save it per session. So you can see that I have several different saved settings, one for this low light situation, control room, office room, outside patio. You can save it for anything you want. Up at top in the header, we have our quick save functions. We also have these buttons here. One is quick text. So you can click on that and you can type in some text. Or you can select one of the pre-done ones, or you can save one of your own. Then there's this freeze flow button and freeze button. Freeze does that, and freeze flow does this, but it keeps it moving just a little bit. These can be really useful if you want to do something like change your shirt. Then, of course, you can blur your background, and you can control the blur, which is pretty neat. And you can even blur your subject. In the next panel are the backgrounds and overlays, where you can do things like load a background. Here's one that I already have loaded. And you can do more stuff, though. You can adjust the transparency of your background. Let's turn off the blur. And you can even select and you can move your background. You can zoom it in and out and move it around so you get it where you just want it. Of course, there's also brightness. And for now, I'll turn this off. And another thing you can do is add a snappy logo, and you can position the logo and with your fingers, because now we have full tracking control. And of course, you can just use the keyboard to move it back around and make it a little less transparent. You can also add pictures. The next panel is the Creative Enhance panel, where you can do things like pixel the background and make it look Minecrafty. And you can pixel the foreground, which can be handy. And you can do other interesting things, which I won't go into. We'll save that for a future demo. But wow. Let's move to the interactive and custom panel, where you can do some of the more important things that we've accomplished. One is to open the video background panel, just like that. Now we've got moving video background. You can even adjust the size and position of the background. Maybe zoom in to fit your space the way you want it. And you can do, of course, things like adjust the brightness of the background and nifty stuff like that. So I think this is looking pretty good. Consider it's going from this to this. We'll turn that off for now. And
Finally, I'm going to show probably the most important part of the code, and that's the custom filter builder. I realized that the most fun I was having was making the actual filters. So I decided to write a whole system that allows you, the user, to create your own filters. Filters are just Python scripts like this one. They're pretty simple. Let's add a node, standard filter. I'll double click that, pick the one I just showed you, and this is what it does. All this filter does is add noise. Let's clear everything. I'll show you that you can save your filter sets and then you can load them. So let's load one. How about our first mix example? We'll load the filter, and here's what we've got. We've got the filter applied only to the foreground section, and then we have a background noise filter, which right now, if I turn it up, you can see the background filter static coming in. So that's pretty neat. I can turn this off. You can write any filter that you want. You can control all kinds of neat things. Here's another one. How about the face and hands tracking filter? So here we are, tracking faces and hands. Near real time, it's pretty good. Save all your filters, reload them later. You make your controls, save your controls. You can change things like how you want any of your parameters to behave. Amaze your friends. So that's about it for this first quick demo. I'm going to go into all these panels and functions in far more depth in future tutorials and demos. I'll just go ahead and put on my 3D mask. And I haven't even talked about the 3D tools yet. So I've only scratched the surface of all the capabilities of our new CamFilter app. We're going from this to this, and then to this, all with a simple webcam and a GPU. So I hope you have a GTX or an RTX GPU on your PC. I'm excited for you to try it out, and we expect to release in a couple days. Look forward to many more demos and tutorials coming soon.